When I think of tradition, I think of Rev Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof and his struggle to keep a hold of his traditions as the world changes around him. I'm Parker, and on today's episode of Shopping Cart Ethics, we're going to take a look at traditions, how to use them, when to discard them, and how to turn them into a principle you can use in everyday life. So, what is a tradition? Think of it as an intergenerational rule. It can be passed from father to son, mother to daughter, grandparent to grandchild, and it can even go all the way up to the civilizational level. So, what's all the noise surrounding traditions? Conservatives tend to keep traditions around longer than necessary, while liberals tend to criticize traditions even if they serve a useful purpose. So, what does a good tradition look like? How about the wave? It originally started as a way of showing people you're unarmed, and now it's a sign of friendliness in many parts of the West. And now for the bad tradition. This one might be controversial, but I'll say it anyways. The Prussian model of education. It's the standard for every state in the Union, as well as many places in the West. The tradition assumes that competence can only be gained by getting talked at for 8 hours and sitting in desks, even though the world has changed rapidly in the 21st century. With all the tools available, this tradition needs to be put to rest. So, why do I promote traditions? Traditions are a way to encourage good behavior without the threat of force, unlike laws. When traditions are good, good behavior spreads naturally. When a tradition turns bad, however, it's far easier to replace than a law, which requires a legislator and executive approval. This begs the question, how do we know if a tradition is worth keeping? Here's some guidelines for you. 1. Does it solve a real problem right now? 2. Does it build trust? 3. Does it reduce tension? 4. Can it adapt? 5. What happens if you remove it? There are more metrics we could use, but I'll keep it simple here today. But what about bad traditions? The answer here is simple. You replace a bad tradition with a good tradition. To end today's video, I leave you with this principle. Use traditions and use them generously. If you want to instill good behaviors, traditions are a great way to do it. Start locally. Turn the things you do into small traditions. You can even make things in your family traditions. Remember, it doesn't take much effort to create a tradition, but it does take effort to sustain one. This is Anvil Hammer Forge. Let's get to work.